What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel as well as another video. So today we're going to do a little reveal here. If you watched the last video, you'll know that I got the Road King over there all set and ready to go for sale. It is currently listed and I'm just waiting on seeing if we got a buyer for it. In the meantime, I've done the old swap here and I got the other one sitting right here. So this is what I picked up going on probably about 3 weeks ago now, 3 or maybe even a month. I don't know. It's been a little bit. But I picked this bike up here to basically replace the Road King. And I'm going to give you guys a first look at it. It's nothing special, but I think with a little bit of work, I can kind of, one, make it my own, and two, make it a very, very good cruiser that I can enjoy. So without further ado, let me get the cover off this thing and we'll take a look at it. So what you are looking at is a 2012 Street Glide. Picked this up a few states away from me. Found it on Facebook Marketplace and I liked it. The jury is still out on the paint. I don't know. It's that big blue color. It's got a lot of flake in it, but I'm just not a huge fan of blue. This bike is pretty much stock. I mean, for the most part anyway. It hasn't really had anything visibly done to it. It has had some work in the engine. It is a Stage 2 done by Harley. It's got the dyno jet. It's got cams, bigger throttle body. It's had some stuff done to it, and it's been dynoed to prove the actual output of it. But the bike is in pretty good shape. Got Reinhardt's on it. The backstory was the guy that I got this off of traded for a roofing job and just didn't really ride the bike. Actually, no one really rode the bike because it's got a whopping 6,466 miles on it. So it is a low mileage bike for the year, being that it's a 2012. It needs to have a few issues rectified. Before me went through and changed out the smoked lenses, but then never did the bulbs. It's got an underglow kit on it, but yeah, it's not really my cup of tea, so that'll be coming off of there. It does have a few little minor blemishes. Bike didn't go down, but it did fall over in his driveway, so it got there. We got the bottom of the bags here. And it just kind of made a mess. Oh, the other thing that it did do too is the guy before him had the wrong tuner in it, and it yellowed out the pipes because it was running way out of whack. So that got rectified, but the staining on the pipes is still a thing. I think that will come off. But again, it's just pretty much a bone stock Street Glide. So I'm going to see here, the first thing I'm going to do to it is, you can tell just by looking at it, and I have done nothing to this bike since I got it. It is filthy dirty, and actually the video doesn't do it any justice either, but it just needs some serious love here to kind of dress it up and make it look good. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. We're going to go through here and just try to see what we can do, detail this thing up and see what we're working with here. I think I want to do, obviously, these bars got to go. I want to do the apes. This stereo is so anemic. It is like the worst sounding radio. I'd be better off with a boombox duct taped to the windshield than I would what Harley throws in these bikes. So looking at a couple of upgrades here, Aquatic AV makes something, and Rockford Fosgate actually makes a good plug and play head unit. And also looking to upgrade these speakers because they're just trash. They're trash. I'm assuming at once you hit like 60 miles an hour, you probably can't even hear anything anyway. But it needs some stuff. It's gonna need a day maker. Gotta, like I said, rectify the lens situation. so that I can actually get the correct colors glowing behind the smoked lens. But anyway, the big thing about this bike and the real, the final decision to buy it was this. When it was dynoed, it was putting out 102.62 horsepower and 111 as far as the torque goes, 111.68. So this thing goes pretty good. My first ride on it, I backed it out of my driveway, I jumped on it, and then just kind of rolled on first gear and was not really ready for what happened. Used to driving something like that, the old 88 over there, and then you get the 103 plus the work that's been done to it. The whole rear end just came right out from underneath me pretty much, and luckily I'm as experienced of a rider as I am, and I was able to kind of correct it. But yeah, it was scary for a couple of seconds there. So the bike definitely does have some power. So I think it could definitely be a viable candidate for being a good cruiser. So I'll do a quick startup so you guys can hear it and just get an idea of what we got going on here. And then we'll get right into cleaning this bad boy and making it look like it should. All right, let me get set up here. All right, this is going to be 100% a cold start because this bike has not been run probably like a week. We'll go in and... All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and attack this paint. I got to buff out what I can, see if I can't get some scratches taken care of. I did go through Color Right, and I did get the touch-up for all this, for this big blue, because going through my jobber, where I buy all of my auto body stuff, these Harley colors are really hard to get a hold of. With the exception of like Birch White and Vivid Black and basic stuff like that, super hard to get a hold of it. This big blue is I can get it mixed. It's a tri-coat and it's very expensive. So I opted to just go for the touch-up. I think, touching up these areas, I think I could go in and wet sand and buff after, and I'm pretty sure I can probably, make that work. For right now anyways, until I decide whether or not this thing's even going to stay blue or if it's going to go a different color. Normally I would bring this thing outside and wash it. However, in the Northeast, yeah, we got some normal February weather going on out there, so there will be no washing of any kind of motorcycle outside. So I'm just going to kind of go through and, just start right in. I'll spray detail, just kind of clean the paint as best I can first, maybe hit it with some glass cleaner or something, and then go right into the buffing process. I do have to pull the underglow kit off of this bike first. It's... God love the guy, but it's not really wired up correctly. I mean, you can see wiring going everywhere all through here that's running these underglow stick-on jobbies here. So those are gonna go. I'm gonna rip that right out. It's not my thing anyway. So let me go ahead and get that stuff taken care of. I haven't even so much as pulled the seat off this bike yet. I mean, literally, you guys are seeing exactly what I purchased, so other than throwing the tag on the back. So anyway, yeah, let's get to it and see what we got. Well, this is interesting. Holy rat's nest, Batman. Yeah, I'm assuming this all goes to the underglow. He did say he had it unhooked because he used to drain the battery. This has got to be the power wire. What do we got here? Make it work. Hopefully nothing sparks. Oh, I'm seeing glow. We got green. Oh yeah, look at that. That's crazy. All up underneath. Oh, bag's not working. Oh, wait a minute. There it goes. Ugh. Yeah, that's got to come out of there. All right. This is going to be a mess. It goes under the covers. All right, I'm going to start taking this stuff out. Yeah, got to get that all out of the way. I want to pull these covers. I'm going to pull the bags. And again, I got to be careful because the bags are attached by way of wire. Oh, I could just unplug them, I guess, and try to get that out. But yeah, that's not going to work. That would have chafed through there pretty soon. Yeah, that's got to go. All right. Well, let me get set up here. I'm going to start taking this crap out of here. Let's do this. Well, the left bag was certainly easy. I went to go pull that out, and sure enough, just like I suspected, I mean, you can only go so long with these wires chafing before they fall right off. So the left bag wouldn't even light up anyway. And, you know, listen, call me OCD, whatever you want to call me. I'm a particular guy, but man, oh man, how do you let something get that dirty? Like, that's crazy. This thing is absolutely disgusting. I mean, there was a full family of spiders that came out when I started. I mean, God, started pulling this apart, and what a mess. It's just filthy dirty. Lack of maintenance. Some guys like to ride, and some guys like to clean. I like to ride, but I also like to clean. I like my bike looking nice when I cruise down the street. So, yeah, this stuff's got to go. Got to go. I'm going to start ripping the rest of it out as well. I think I am going to need to take this front fender off in order to buff this thing correctly. There's no way I'm going to get in here with a buffing wheel, and I want to make it look good. Plus, I have some touch-up to do on the bottom of this fender right here. That's the reason I bought the paint. There's some areas that are pretty crappy on it, so I'm going to get tearing this thing off and see what other kind of little treasures we can find. All right, let's do it. Okay, slight change of plans. Unlike the Road King over there, these Street Glides, I guess they put a little bend over tab that goes over the bolts so that they won't back out, and the only real way to get that out is to kind of bend it back over with like a chisel and a hammer. You got to pull the wheel in order to do that. Really, to be able to get at it good, you got to do that. So I think I'm going to forego removing the fender as of right now. It's going to have to come off at some point, but I'm not looking to do that this instant. So I think we'll just kind of work around that. I can do the touch-up with it kind of just hanging out like at the bottom. You know, I can kind of turn the steering a little bit and get at it. So we'll make do with what we got here. It won't get the best polish job, but it should be okay. I don't think I have to compound the entire fender. I think I can get away with just spot buffing the bad stuff. All right, well, let's get set up here and start making this thing shine. after a two-step process, compound and polish. Looks pretty good. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but that flake is pretty prominent. It should look pretty good out in the sun. Wow, yeah, big difference. Big difference. Actually see some good reflection in it now, whereas you couldn't see anything before. All right, looks good. Let's move on to the next thing. Another one done. Looks pretty good. Again, most of the scratches all came out. Got one little blemish there that just doesn't, camera's not really picking it up too well, but right in there, there we go. There's a small little scratch, but hey, it buffed out for the most part. Big comparison to this. I mean, I know the camera doesn't really pick it up 100%, but I think most of it was just dirt. A lot of dirt, just lack of care, I guess, would be the best way to describe it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get this one done here and get back to you. And complete. These are both done. Both of these side covers had some blemishes. It's weird, and they're right in the same spot, which is kind of strange, but it looks like something might have rubbed on it. They didn't come out, but they're a lot better than they were. These things look pretty good. All right, I think the next thing I'm going to jump on is going to be this fender. And let's see if we can make this thing look a little bit better. All right, let's get to it. Well, you can't be mad at that. Looks pretty good. Some nice sparkle. What do you think, Jim? It's good? You like it? I think he's given the seal of approval. So we're going to move on to the gas tank. Let's hit this up and make it look just like the rest of this. Let's do it. take a look, see what we got. Looks pretty good. A couple little small scuffs in here, but you know, obviously they're gonna have to be there because I'm not painting anything. And yeah, everything looks pretty decent. Okay, on to this mess. This is just absolute insanity right here. Got a few things I'm gonna have to try to go around, but you know, I'll do my best and see what we come up with. I can't wait to start taking some chrome polish to some of this stuff and see if we can't rectify some of this just crazy amounts of dirt and grime. Okay, let's get to it. Well, I would say that's a large improvement over what we had. That's going to work. And that narrows us down to just these last two pieces right here, these bags. So I'm going to get these things set up and give them a quick once over. They're actually in relatively good shape, minus that one that had the damage there from the bike falling over. But see what we can do with that. So let me get set up and let's get going on those. First up, before I get started on this, I'm going to remove these. Oh boy, let's see how good this comes off. Oh, some good glue on here. I think I see a date with a eraser wheel in my future. Oh yeah, all the glue stayed right with it. Perfect. Just what you want. Well, see what we can do about getting that off. Perfect. I was going to bring out the eraser wheel, but you know, anytime you use that, it leaves shavings all over the place from all the rubber. It just makes an absolute mess. A little bit of goo gone, some heat, it's gone. It's going to suck when I start doing the ones that are up underneath the tank and all that good stuff, but yeah, we'll get to that when we get to it. All right, buff time. Let's do it. One bag down, one to go. Looks pretty good. Obviously, little small blemishes here and there that couldn't come out, but you know, for what it is, looks pretty decent. Still got to touch up all that stuff down at the bottom. But yeah, all right, let me get going on this other one, and once I get that finished, I'll get back to you. Well, we now have some nice shiny bags. Brought the gloss level up on those quite a bit. Still a couple, if you look in the light, a couple of small scratches that, they disappeared pretty good, but they're still there. But they look a lot better than they did, and I can live with that. For now, they'll be good. I think next here, I think I'm going to try to hit up some of these scratches and gouges. So I'm going to take out this set of touch-up paint pens that I got from Color Right here. I'm going to give this a shot. It's supposed to be 100% color match. We'll see exactly how good they really are. So, all right, let's get right into this and give it a shot. What do you say, Jim? Let's do it, right? Let's do it. Well, I gotta say, fairly impressed with it. It looks pretty good after the wet sanding and buffing. There is a slight dark spot here and there. You can kind of see it right there. I attribute that to the pen being new, and when I started the pen, it got a little thick. The mid coat went on a little heavier than what I thought it was going to. But after wet sanding and buffing, I mean, geez, you can't see that really at all. It's going to look pretty good. I'm more than happy with that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and see what I can do with these guys right here. It's going to be a little work, but I'm pretty sure I can make those look better. So let's see what I get after this. All right. Well, it isn't perfect, not by a long shot, but it's better than it was. You can't really see the marks as much anymore. It's going to have to do for right now. Down the road, who knows, maybe we'll paint it. I also went ahead and did the front fender where this was really chipped up. Pretty good match. You can slightly see a color difference. All in all, I have to say though, pretty impressed. Still working on doing the clear coat on this. That's pretty ugly looking right now, but we'll get to it. All right, I think the next thing is going to be to go through and clean up this engine. I got to get all this stuff off of here, go through, give it a good degreasing, see exactly what we're working with. So, all right, let's get going on that. if that isn't a massive improvement, I don't know what is. Gone in here, cleaned this all up, got it looking good. The chrome came back pretty nicely. There's some pitting going on. I mean, well, not pitting, but you know, just dirt needs to be cleaned off here that the degreaser and the soap wouldn't take care of. But for the most part, this now looks like a bike that has 6,000 miles on it, which is what we were after. So I would say, yeah, pretty happy with that. Obviously, as I go through this bike and get into it a little bit more, I'll have opportunities to clean it a little bit better and better each time, and till it's up to my liking, I would say, or expectations. All right, so the next thing that I have to tackle is going to be trying to clean up this staining on this pipe. I think after this, I'll just kind of put it back together and should be good for right now. I didn't really do too much with the wheels because those are going to come off at some point, but they did definitely clean up a lot nicer than they were. I do want to polish the lip and make them look good. But yeah, let's hit up this staining here. I'm going to try it by hand with a little bit of chrome polish, see if that works. If it doesn't, this is going to have to come off and have a date with a buffer and a wool pad, and I'm sure we can probably get some of this off. It's got to come off, I got to assume anyway. All right, let me get set up here, see what we can do with this nice yellowed pipe. After a little bit of hand polishing, it looks like it's starting to come off, but it's going to be far too much elbow grease for me to want to exert kneeling on my knees here, you know, 6 inches off the ground. So I think I'm going to go ahead and pull these pipes real quick, and I'm going to get them up on a stand, and let's use the old mini buffer in the wool pad and see what we can do with this. I'm sure this is going to come out. It started coming out a little bit, but just going to need a little bit more than I can give with just a rag. So let me get set up and let's do this. So they're off the bike. That took a little fighting. They are definitely yellowed out, so this is going to be the better method to try to repair these or clean them up a little bit. I did notice one thing after I got them off the bike. Man, both of these pipes have seen better days on the bottoms, which tells me one of two things. Either, I don't know, backing up to a curb, or I don't know, low clearance, loading and unloading, or going into a garage, or the front tires spent some time off the ground. I don't know. Either way, got some stuff baked on here I'm gonna have to try to get off, and we'll see what we can do here. I don't know. We'll see. Down the road, maybe replace them. I have no clue. But as of right now, just going to do our best to make these things look better. I might even have some satin black high heat kicking around here. I'm going to have to definitely get rid of this rough edge, though. I can't believe I didn't see that really before. But anyway, all right, let me get to this, and let's see what we can make these things look like. Well, after a few minutes, that's what I got. Looking pretty good. All that yellowing's coming off. That's a plus. I'm going to keep going on these things, and I'll get back to you when I got them all finished. We'll see what we're dealing with here. Wish me luck. Okay, here's what we got after a lot of polishing. Came out pretty good. This is the one that was really bad as far as the yellowing. That seems to be all gone. These things are in kind of rough shape, but most of the scarring, I mean, you can see it if you're looking for it, but it's better than it was. I did go through and touch up the bottom of the tips. I didn't have any satin black. I had more of a flat black, but that's all right. I mean, at least it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb anymore. Again, I don't even know if I'm keeping these pipes or not, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna put this thing back together, and we'll see the finished product here of our cleaning. All right, let's get it done. And we're all back together. This thing looks pretty good, actually, I have to say. Pretty happy with it. You know, it's far from, you know, top-notch clean. It's not what I would consider fully detailed, but it's a good jumping off point to get started on with what I'm going to do to this thing. I just feel better looking at it and actually seeing shiny paint as opposed to all that dullness and the chrome being all dirty and everything. Again, chrome is still kind of pitted, or not pitted, I should say, spotted. But, you know, as I go through this thing and as I clean it up further, it'll get better and better with every cleaning. So, pipes look way better. So I think I want to get this thing out in the sun so we can take a look at the paint and really appreciate it. These lights don't really do it any justice. So let me get it moved outside and I'll do a quick walk around and show you exactly what it looks like in the sun. And with that, that's going to bring this video to a close. Hey, make sure you join me in the next video when we start doing some additions and upgrades to this thing. It's pretty much a blank slate at this point, so we can go in pretty much any direction. I'm still banging it around in my head. I haven't figured out what way I want to go with it yet. But, you know, like anything else, it's a work in progress. So do me a favor, if you haven't already, give me that thumbs up, subscribe, as well as hit the bell for notifications so you know when more videos like this are going to be coming out. And as always, keep the shiny side up, and I'll see you guys all on the next video.